There's this time in a man's life, feels like you are matured, you want to settle down and start your own life. Perhaps you want to find a very principled woman, a very serious woman. You think and you believe you can have a good life with her. At the end of the day, settle down and marry and live a beautiful and good life. In this video, I'm actually going to highlight about 10 types of women that you should never date. These women I'm going to highlight in this video will help you to be selective of a kind of women that will make your life meaningful. These types of women that I'm about to mention in this video will help you to decide the kind of marriage that you would want to have in the future. These kind of women will determine the kind of destiny that you can attract in the future. Thank you so much. If you're reaching this channel for the first time, my name is Godwin. I mostly make videos about relationship and marriage. If that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing to the channel, that every time when I make videos like this one, you'll be the first person to know. For the returning subscribers and new subscribers, thank you so much for supporting and being part of this channel. I'm really humbled. Let's keep growing and make success together. First and foremost, without wasting much of the time, one type of a woman is the woman when you're about to date, she's very selective the kind of places, she's very selective the kind of food that she desires, that she can only take part of when you want to date her. One thing that I've come about with this kind of a point is mostly such kind of women are very expensive, and mostly such kind of women, they are hardly to understand when in hard times. They are hardly to understand by the time we won't be doing well financially. I can tell that not every marriage, they are always stable when it comes to finance. Think of the time that you have hard days. Think of the time where things won't be good or expected. What will become of this kind of a woman? So you need to be very selective and decide to be with kind of a woman whereby she's able to at least to accommodate or to understand any type of place that you can able just to manage as a man, any kind of a food that you can able to provide as a man. A selective woman when it comes to places and food. I'm telling you, these kind of women, they are very expensive unless you as a man, you are capable or you feel like you can still manage. That's well and good. Then the second woman is the kind of a woman who always talks about trash, who talks about bad things, more especially on his past relationship, on his past partners. There are sometimes one thing that usually comes to happen is that a relationship to come to an end, there were some certain issues. Now, for instance, if this kind of a woman has passed through maybe 5 kind of relationship, maybe 4 kind of relationship, then all those 5 kind of relationship, all those 4 kind of relationship, she always the one talks about trash on his past partners. Does that mean she's the kind of a person who was always right? Does that mean she was the kind of a person who never used to make mistake? That becomes a huge question, more especially if you are the kind of a guy you have come across with such kind of a person. Okay, it might be you now the next time that you might end this relationship, and definitely she will talk trash about you because she's just this kind of a woman who always talks trashes about his past relationship. So such kind of women, they don't respect their past relationship. They don't understand, or they don't come to to agree, more especially when they make mistake. These women, they are very difficult when it comes to communication. These women, they are very difficult to understand and acknowledge their own mistake, which you need to be aware as a man before you date, before you decide to marry this kind of women. Thirdly, let me also talk about a violent woman. Relationship and marriage is not all about perfection. Relationship and marriage, there are some ups and downs. But when you come across such kind of a woman whereby each misunderstanding, each problem, she always lay her fingers on you, that relationship won't be healthy, that relationship won't be great. I won't say much about this, but such kind of women, they're not healthy, they're not right for that relationship, for that marriage, if you so called to plan for that person. Let me also rush to the other point whereby if she's a kind of a woman who most of the time she's talk trashes about fellow female friends, she's a kind of a woman who only want male friends. I've mostly emphasized in most of my videos, it's not a bad idea, but when she doesn't have any single female friend, she just wants to be roaming around with male friend, I'm telling you, this kind of women, most of the times they get to be used. This kind of a women, most of the times they play around, because that attendance of only just being found with male friend without her fellow female friend becomes a problem, and these are hookups and these are wars which you can't even expect us to be like a well-principled woman, and mostly you stand the high chance of being cheated on. Okay, let me also talk about the other point whereby in another situation she found with a fellow female friends, but most of them, they don't have those good characters. Most of them, they are party girls. Most of them, they are clubbing girls. Most of them, they are all girls. The bed of the same feathers fits together. The kind of friend that this woman will have, it will reflect her characters. If she has this kind of friend, it's a red flag for every man. It's a red flag for a man who is looking for a very principled woman, because there might be high possibility that she's just been recruited in those characters, or she's a retard in those characters. She used to do all those clubbing and party stuff. So you need to be very conscious. You need to look out for all these things before you decide yourself to date these women, before you decide yourself to start talking about marriage. Let me also talk about a woman. Most of the times he posts about his emotions on social media, on social statuses. Let me talk about, by the time you have argument, by the time you have misunderstanding, by the time you have conflict, she takes that issue on a social media, start typing on, posting all those just concerning the argument or the conflict that you had in a relationship. These women don't know on how to handle, on how to heal properly from disappointment, from any problem found in a relationship. You need to avoid them, because you might have a healthy problem found with this kind of women. Let me also talk about a woman who has multi children with multi parent of those children. You need to avoid dating such kind of women, because one, those men, they will be coming for a support in those children. Those men, they will definitely be having connection with that woman, and definitely that red high signal that you won't have peace. You also have a high chance to be cheated on, because for instance, if there were 4 men, these 4 men, they can't definitely have a noble conversation with that woman that you have, a noble conversation, communication with that woman. Definitely there might be some fraud or praying around behind your back, and definitely you will be cheated as a man. You need to avoid that and wake up before you start anything with that woman. Lastly, let me talk about a woman who doesn't listen actively. A woman who always switch off her phone when she's with you. She puts it on a high plane mode whenever she's just with you. she's a cheater, she can't settle down with you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for reaching this video up to the end. My name is Godwin. If you're reaching this channel for the first time, I mostly make videos about relationship and marriage. If that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Until I see you in the next episode, stay blessed and stay tuned.